So my name is Dr. Debo Akande. I'm the Executive Advisor to the Governor of Oyo State on Agribusiness and also the Director General of Oyo State Agribusiness Development Agency. Ensuring that the right kind of policy are put in place, ensuring that the state have a strategy that drives their implementation plan, and ensuring that the implementation itself is aligning with the overall objective of Oyo State's government to make this state one of the great states in terms of its comparative and competitive advantage in agriculture and agribusiness. We've ensured that logic, science, and data directed our approach in agribusiness, and that has yielded quite a lot of good result. First of all, we have been able to attract private investors to the state at the diverse level of the value chains of agriculture, small, medium, and also large enterprises have now seen Oyo State as an haven of investment. Under this Oyo State Agribusiness Development Program, we have two approaches that we are adopting. The first approach is what we call the public sector developed and private sector managed. Those are the ones that relates to the agribusiness industrial hubs that we are building across the state, meaning that the public sector will build it, the private sector will manage it, we invest in it. Then the second approach that we have that relates to your question is what we call the private sector developed and public sector supported. So what are we doing as a public sector to support it? I will give an example of Rontoll Limited. Rontoll within Ilora farm settlement was built a processing center there for cassava that is supporting the farmer within that particular location, like Sultry is doing, like Niji is doing, like Brent Farm is doing, like many others are doing across board now, putting their processing center there. And we do a need assessment of that particular company, the Rontoll, by having discussion with them. And in their need assessments, they told us precisely that what they need is a good road to their factory. What they need is a transformer and security. I can tell you as of today that these three has been provided by the state for Rontoll. It's not just for Rontoll, but to ensure that that particular company have access to what it would ordinarily have impede their own business. The same thing we'll be doing with Sultry. The same thing we'll be doing with Niji. For example, Niji, when we realized that he's having an issue of space, in relation to the agricultural equipment fabrication within the state, we lease out the once moribund fabrication equipment center at Akpata to him at a reasonable rate for a good period of time. Now the whole place is being revamped. For Sultry, we have done need assessment. She has told us exactly what to do. And I can assure you that those things that has been requested by her is going to be done by the state. We're working collectively together. But beyond that, I think it's also good to mention that there is nothing like agricultural transformation without rural infrastructural transformation. And what the government of the day has done is to ensure that those goes hand in hand. So wherever we are doing our agricultural transformation, rural infrastructure transformation is following it. And that is why you are seeing what you are seeing today at Fashola, where the hub is being built, the road is being built. And I also mentioned earlier that the feeder routes as well will be put under the rural, the ramp project. So our actions are very, very deliberate. They are not accidental actions. They are deliberate actions that are all well connected together. So the critical thing to put at the mind is that we have strategy that we are following, and this strategy is linking to what is being requested across board. Where we are doing rural agricultural transformation, we are also engaging in rural infrastructural transformation. I see somebody that doesn't believe in possibility. I see somebody that, despite all odds, whether that is there, believe that things can be done. But beyond that, he has an exceptionally leadership skill, in a very gentle manner, that is very, very attractive. He has, I can't mention when I've called upon him, in the area of agribusiness that he has not responded. We've been together for resource mobilization across the globe. It takes a governor that is genuine to do that. I remember I was traveling to a particular country. He flew in one day, had all those meetings and flew back to Nigeria for another meeting. The second, he couldn't even sleep, because we need to negotiate some funding for a particular new project for Oyo State. So this is the kind of person that he is, and he works day and night. It means that even at 12 a.m. when you're sleeping, you are still not sleeping, because Governor Seyi Makinde can call you and ask you some critical question that has to do with the state. I wouldn't want to go into a day when I was wearing my pajamas and I thought I was ready to sleep, and I had to remove the pajamas and quickly go to him for a meeting. So these are all the reality of who Governor Seyi Makinde is. But in all, even though it's been very difficult, it's been very hard, it's been a lot, but when you see genuineness and honesty, in the person that you are working with, you have that driving factor that drives you to continue. So that is where I am as an individual.